And welcome back to Talkin Spit After Hours. We're your host, TJ Bay and Adam Poe, back once again, bring y'all nothing but the latest and the greatest. Hey, we've been gone for a week, but happy Labor Day to everyone. Sorry we missed y'all for a week, but we had to get some things done. T, how was your Labor Day?
It was cool, man. We was camping and shit. We went fishing, caught a couple pike. It was cool. Chilled. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I didn't do much, man. Just work. I really don't have a life besides this podcast and shit like that. So,
nigga, it was Labor Day though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So you were supposed to, but you were supposed to get the day off though.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter when they call you in. Hey, you got to go and make that money, man.
Yeah, so you had to fulfill your labor. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, nigga, I was out at the river, or excuse me, out at the lake with my brother. And we was fishing. Mm-hmm. Just chilling. It was cool, man. Next time, I'm telling you guys, man, you got to come up, do it, man. I mean, you only live once, man.
I mean, some would say yes, and then some would say, reincarnation, but that's another topic. We're not going to get into that today.
We don't need to get into all that, but I mean, right now in this present life, you know what I'm saying?
Right. In this lifetime.
Yeah, it's take your ass camping, man. You got to.
All right. So, what you want to touch on first? You want to touch on?
Man, there's a couple things, that happened. That's been happening and stuff, but we may be doing some episodes that we just want to let y'all know where we wing it and stuff. We had some funny conversations over the past week here, and maybe if we'd have recorded them, you guys would have joined in on the laughs too. So we're probably gonna be doing some wing it episodes too, some random topics. But this episode, we're probably not probably. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some stuff that actually happened, some current events and things like that. So, but.
All right. So let's touch on the B of A, BOFA. So for those who don't know.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, B of A is offering loans to Black and Hispanic people in order to purchase homes in the inner city, in order to get their credit up, in order to be home owners, per se. Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that's a bad thing?
Well, before you ask that question, I just want to express that I've seen the outrage that some people were saying towards it. And I don't see why there's outrage and stuff just because it's not targeted towards certain people,
But I read the fine print real fast. I had read the fine print, and it doesn't exclude any race.
It doesn't.
Right. So once you read the fine print, you understand, okay, it's for any and everyone who wants to apply for it.
Right. So basically, it's just encouraging because, I'm sorry to say this, Black people and Hispanic people aren't looking to really buy homes or weren't. But now this is just an incentive to, to go ahead and, do it. Because the fine print, and this is what what you're right about, is everybody doesn't see is it's not just saying that Blacks and Hispanics can get a loan. Anybody can get these rates. They're just urging that, they're just urging Black people and Hispanic people that they can go in as well and get the loans now.
All right. First of all, when I hear this, I applaud them. That's great news. But my question is, how much is this loan, and what can you afford by having this loan? Can you go to a nice suburb neighborhood, into a nice community, and purchase one of these homes, or is it for just the inner city?
Well, you have to do your due diligence because, what is the inner city? You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, the inner city is just technically downtown, inner city, right? So, if you're finding something there, or if you're wanting to look there, then that's on you. Because now there's so many homes around that, and there's various prices there. You can find a home close to the suburbs for this, an inner city price, and be happy with that. So
Okay, so
But you also it's not saying, it's not specifically targeting. It's not saying like you got to find a home in the inner city. It's saying actual cities, like you can go to I believe
things like
uh,
Miami.
Miami, L.A.
Hmm.
Uh, just it's targeted cities. So as long as they're in that city and they meet your criteria, you know what I'm saying, for what you can afford, then you can do it.
One thing about the cities that they named off, though, is that those particular cities, they have a high poverty rate.
Exactly. So it's a way to get your ass a job and get you up out of there and get you a home. Yeah, it's like, granted, if it's in a lower income neighborhood, who gives a damn? You got you a home. You
I
got you a
mean,
house over your head. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Whatever.
then you got to worry about motherfuckers trying to break in and steal your shit. Oh,
Hey,
who's the new nigga moved in? And they be like, oh, oh, you got a big screen? Yeah, cuz you got a PlayStation. All right, cuz we gonna see what time he leaves for work, what time he gets home, plot and plan. When he comes home, it's gonna be nothing but speaker wires and speaker wires
well,
and HD cords everywhere.
let's just say this. Okay, we have to applaud the person that actually has all that from after being homeless. So if he has all that to take, if he has all that to take after from coming from
True.
being homeless, then you know what I'm saying, regardless, applaud him, applaud that person, and
That's
and
true. That's true.
that person should feel good that someone can actually go in and take their shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more motivation now to get the shit back.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You're talking about, trying to get people off the streets, homelessness, and this is a way for them to afford homes. Um,
Right.
One thing that is news to me, I'm sure it's news to you. So in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, he's proposed that in the fast food field, he wants to make minimum wage at $22 an hour.
Nigga, good lord. Now, okay, there's two pros and cons I can just come up with off the top of my head with that right now.
Hmm.
And I'll go with the con first.
Okay.
The con is, nigga, now that's making college obsolete. You know what I'm saying? For most people in the world. The pro is, it's a career, the fast food is now a career.
True.
So $22.50 an hour for fast food is absurd. I'm sorry. I'm just coming from my opinion. It's absurd. If you want to do it now, I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah. I mean, the only positive, well, there's positives everywhere, but the one that sticks out to me would be for the kid that's in high school. So
yes,
imagine you're making $22 an hour in high school, and like because in high school you need about what, $400 to $500 a month just in your own money. So now,
all right,
imagine that in high school, the things you could do in high school.
okay. Con, I'm gonna say a con to that. Now, yeah, imagine what these kids are gonna be doing in high school now.
Flossing.
Not just flossing, cause like they gonna, like, nigga, oh, I don't need my parents no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my own money. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They gonna be trying to move out at emancipate at 16 now because they can go to McDonald's and get they can get a career job, make the same amount as damn near their parents are making at whatever job they worked at for the past 15 years.
That's true. True.
So,
But
I
I mean,
mean,
for the parent though, isn't that less burden? Like, yeah, you're making your own money. Good. Oh, you want to leave? Peace. Like, hey, you better keep this job because don't you ain't coming back.
it's all perspective then, because
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying, because yeah, if that's the case, and you know what I'm saying, if my my daughter said that to me, then yeah, all right, then peace, go ahead. You know what I'm saying, you can come home for Thanksgivings,
Just holidays.
Christmases,
Yeah.
Easter, you know what I'm saying, say hi, whatever, come and visit, but don't expect to be staying in the house. You know what I'm saying? If you lose your house, don't expect to come and, stay in the house. You make 22.50 an hour. That's a career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got enough to have a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom house and a car.
Now,
So
there's something that I think about this is that okay, if regular employees are making $22 an hour,
yeah.
What are the managers making?
Oh, I gotta be up onward like close to like 90, almost to 100. Then.
You would think, and one of the cons that I read about was that a lot of these franchise owners they're opposed to this bill because that means they have to pay these people. I'm sorry, they have to pay their employees $22 an hour, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen? I don't know if you've been to most fast food restaurants today. When you walk in, there are kiosks everywhere.
Yeah.
So now it's going to force. So instead of paying humans, their whole operation is going to be run by robots from now on.
That's and that's the alternative to this 22.50 an hour.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, if you go into McDonald's, I seen a few McDonald's in California that I went to, and I've seen that I can order my food on this little touch screen,
Hmm.
thing in there, and I've done it too. It's hella convenient. I'm not gonna lie. It's hella convenient. I'm sorry to, knock out the middleman, but it's convenient.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't, and if it's a employee that, doesn't bathe or, whatever is like you don't have to deal with that.
True.
So I'm sorry. Like pick your poison.
I mean, now there might be some people who are opposed to it as far as consumers think like, oh, we're going to miss that human interaction. But first of all, everyone's too busy plugged into their phones anyway. No one really conversates with each other anyway, so I don't see how this is such a big difference.
Well, I was, let's take it this way.
I mean, there's even an
If
app on your phone where you can order your food on your phone and then just go in and pick it up.
and not even you pick it up, you can have somebody deliver it to you.
Right. I'm not spending $40 on McDonald's delivery.
Well, me either, but I'm not gonna lie, I use Uber Eats all the time at work,
Oh yeah.
because it's very convenient, it's cost effective too.
Hmm.
So and that motherfucker's right there waiting for me right when I go to lunch. So
Right.
I'll be like, come on, cause I'm trying, man. I'm not trying to knock out the middleman, 'cause, I want everybody to get their money, but what I'm saying, you might have to change up your job or
I mean,
something now.
okay, so human versus machine. Okay, so you can cut out labor costs, you can cut out insurance fraud, you can cut out all this stuff, but how much will it cost, let's say, if a machine breaks down? I mean, the ice cream machine barely works. So how much more money is it going to cost to fix this machine? Or would it be
Well,
better to
that's
have humans? You know what I mean?
well, there's that's the double-edged sword right there too, and that's why some people don't want to deal with uh, having the automated systems, because it costs more to fix them than it does just to have a human sitting there doing that. But at the same time, is we have gotten so lazy as humans.
Hmm.
People have just been coming in and out of jobs, like quitting, you know, going for 2 days and quitting.
That's
And,
true.
employers have been having to find people like left and right and stuff. And now the market, the employment job is like, remember back in the day, nigga, everybody used to worry about, cause I want to find it, that finding the job.
Right.
Now everybody's cool with the employment rate just being down. Like, and I don't mean the government people, I mean like the people. They're just cool. Like, fuck it, nigga, I don't got no job. I'm good. I don't care no more.
I
So,
mean, but now, I mean, nowadays there's a lot more ways to make money rather than working,
right,
a normal 9 to 5 job. So I can kind of see where that takes place.
true. Because you could be a homeless person. You could get a cell phone, do something totally cool on a cell phone while you're homeless. If that goes viral, Guess what?
You're up.
Yep, you ain't homeless no more, and you don't have to work.
And now think about that story on the news. Like, oh, this guy was homeless, and you know, he collected, whatever, like
Yeah,
$60. Decided to go get a
he got
phone.
20 million views on YouTube, so he made $10,000. And then he took that $10,000 and kept making these YouTube videos. And
Homeless in the hood or homie in the hood.
right, but I mean, guess what? You got to compete. I guess you
Yeah.
got to compete.
I mean, one of the pros would be to have machines would be you don't have anyone calling out.
You don't have nobody calling out.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the worst things about being a manager in retail was if
Right,
someone called out, they have to call someone to try to cover their shift, and if not, hey, guess who's working longer? You are.
right. But I will say this too, though: the way to, as a human, the way to alter that, or combat that, is you don't have to work at the actual establishment. You could be the person that actually fix the automated systems.
True.
So you go to school to be like, a computer problem solver, there you go.
Yeah,
You're employed.
and make like 3 to 4 times more than you would working at McDonald's
Exactly.
just to press one button. Oh, all you have to do is hit reset. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
You
And
don't got to tell them that, but
right,
yeah, that's
yeah,
that's how easy it is, and
uh
you're the
huh,
only one that know that. So
yeah. But and then it's like one of those things too. So a couple of days ago, Ari's Roku stopped working. She's like, Dad, something's wrong with the TV. So what did I do? Walked to the Roku, unplugged it, and
but unplugged it, really? Yeah.
and plugged it back in. Like that's all it takes, man. It's a hard reset.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man,
There you go. You got you a job.
that's crazy.
Man, speaking of jobs and all that stuff, I want to go into this. We're going to switch it up a little bit now. Different topic. Um, we want to talk about double standards a little bit here. I've just been seeing a lot of stuff that's been making me think about double standards.
Hmm.
And I'll give you a few examples. So, for one, I noticed that in the news, I see Donald Trump, and I don't really want to touch on this, because I'm not gonna lie, he did do good stuff for the economy. He did do good stuff for the people, but he's a complete basket case as a person. But so the double standard, what I'm trying to say here is, if you break the law, shouldn't you go to jail? Because in my case, they thought I broke the law, and it was a thought that I broke the law. And guess what? I went to jail, and then I also was facing damn near, damn near the rest of my grown life in jail just because of it.
Okay, so when you say double standards, are we talking criteria? Are we talking about the person themselves, or are we talking about something that we try not to, you know, get into, the marathon race, so to speak?
The marathon race
Okay.
aspect.
Well, yeah, I mean, you fit the description, player. I mean,
Okay.
you know, and then that's how I see it. But then also,
Right.
it's the haves and have-nots. So if you're a billionaire, a millionaire, you can fight that case because you have money. And if that's all the government wants is money, go ahead and pay them that money, and then life back to normal as usual.
Okay, but you can fight that case and you have the money, but you broke the law.
Okay, so all right, here's a scenario. Let's say your daughter, right?
Right,
And she had a boyfriend, and she calls you up in the middle of the night like, "Hey, daddy, he put his hands on me," right?
right,
Or let's say he abused her or whatnot, right? So of course, as a father, as a protector of your child, you're going to go over there and put hands on this young man and be like, hey, hey, you never touch what's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't touch mine, right? Teach him a lesson. Now, you broke a law, you know what I mean? But in the eyes of public opinion,
It was a,
should you go to jail for that?
well, if the public is I mean, if the public is, uh, choosing my fate, then okay, I'm good with that. And I don't think they would send me to jail. But if the law states that I do a certain thing and we have to follow these laws, then if I break the law, then I'm sorry. Yes, morally, I may have been right, but I broke the law.
Okay, I can see that. But so I think it's in the East Coast, either New York or New Jersey. If someone breaks into your home and you try to defend defend your domain and you kill them, you're going to prison playing for
Yeah.
murder. But it's like, hold on, he broke in. He was trying to cause physical harm to me and my family.
See, see, the whole thing is that what they're saying is you don't have to kill them. All human life is precious, so you don't have to kill them.
Okay, so if
You
they come
have
up
a
with,
right to defend yourself. So, and this is the thing about it. Okay. And for me, this is how I see it. If someone breaks into my house, right? And granted, even if he does have a gun, my first thought in my head, and then, what I'm saying, I have a weapon and what I'm saying, I have a gun as well. My first thought in my head is not to uh, kill the person,
hmm
because I'm not that type of person. I don't want to kill the person.
right,
Yes, you're doing something bad, but at the same time, it's like I value everybody's life, so I'm gonna try to disarm that person, and that's how I think they're seeing it too.
okay.
So, so yeah, you made the bad choice to come into my house. You're gonna leave,
So,
you're gonna leave, but you're not gonna be like you. Like the thoughts, you're gonna have a thought in your head when you leave here is like, okay,
yeah, I ain't never doing that again.
yeah, exactly. So like you'll be able to think about it if you come into my house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Other
but
people don't think like me, but like I said, if someone chooses to break into my house, I don't want to kill them. I don't care.
but like, what
I'm
if
not
you?
trying to kill them.
Yeah, but what if if you teach them a lesson and you embarrass them to the point they're at home like, nah, I'm going back. Cause like, nah, he took my manhood. Like, I'm going back.
Then, hey, guess what? You gonna get your manhood taken once again, because that's just how I see it. It's like man, and just okay. So back in the day, what I'm saying, I didn't get in a lot of fights, but in the fights I got into, I was never so enraged to where like if the person was down, I would, still kick that person.
Right.
Never. I have never ever got to that point. So there's been some points too, is where to like, what I'm saying, if the person was down, I actually went as to, and it was like, all right, man, what I'm saying, you good, we good or whatever, and tried to pick them up. There was points I even did that.
hmm
So I'm not the person that's trying to kill somebody. So the double standard in that case is just like, I don't know. In New York, yeah, they just value all life, I guess.
All
But
right, hold on, guys. See, nah.
eh,
Let's
I,
talk about the real double standard real quick,
yeah,
man. Hold on,
yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know if you want to do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Nah, I'm going
You,
there. I'm going there. Yeah.
okay,
All
all
right, man. So, men and women, men versus women. All right.
right.
Check this out. Yes, there is a double standard when it
Okay.
comes to men and women, and I think it's because we were taught that way. So, all right, for men, it was okay for men to sleep with a lot of women, right? That was like your stature is like, oh man, he's a ladies' man, right? Whereas for women, if you slept with a lot of men, you seem less valued. Okay, so we were taught that as kids, you know, girls are made with what? Sugar and spice and everything nice. And boys
Nice.
is what? Dog ears and puppy dog tails and whatnot, right? So growing up, we
Mm,
were taught that. And so now in today's society, women are they're taking their life into their own hands and doing what they wish, what they will. And
yeah.
I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
But
But,
exactly. Go ahead.
but me being a man, I would see that person. I I wouldn't make them my partner for life. That's probably the PC way to say it. And women have that
Yeah.
right, and then women have that same right too.
Right.
If they feel a man he's overachieved his expectations, they don't have to date that dude either.
Right. There, the double standard now. I'm just gonna, like, I see exactly where you're coming from, and I'm gonna just add to it is the there's actually a couple, but there's only a few we can touch on. So I'm gonna touch on the household, the money making part of it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
All right. So yes, when we were younger, women were taught to stay at home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, yada yada yada. I shouldn't have said yada yada yada, but
right. It's all right.
that's okay. Please forgive me. Not yada yada yada, but that shit is definitely hard because I will, I will attest to that. I have done that, and it is hard. It is very hard.
Right, it's definitely a
But
job.
right. But nowadays, you know what I'm saying, since they make money just as much as money as you are, does that entitle them to say things to you that make you feel lesser than a person, than a person?
I mean, it all depends on each individual situation. For one, let's say if you were the breadwinner and you were helping to put her through college, right?
Right.
So now she has a degree and now she's making more money. Hell no, she has no right to say, "Oh, get a better job, you bum ass nigga." Like, nah, like hold up, time out. So,
But
so now because you make more than I do, I'm a bum. Although I helped put you through college, I
but
helped pay
see,
your bills. It was cool then. You know what I'm saying? But now that you make
right.
more than
I
me,
know
oh,
that.
now I'm less than. Like, nah, that's not gonna fly for me.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but now since see, and here's another double standard on top of that double standard. Okay, so you did that. Now what you gonna do for yourself? Like,
All right, yeah, okay. I'm gonna grab these keys. I'm gonna put them in my car,
yeah, put
start the
them
ignition, and bounce. Yeah,
yeah. So like, see,
because
the thing is, it's just going too far, man. Like, I'm not saying nobody has to stay in their place, right? Because everybody has a right to evolve. But at the same time, is like, just because you're getting yours now, it doesn't mean you have to disrespect the next person just because, you know what I'm saying?
because you're up. Yeah,
You're right. So don't kick the man when he's down. It's because, and the reason, and a lot of the reason why men are down is because of women.
no, but it's like okay, so okay, this is my thing. So we got here together to get you up
Exactly.
here. To get you up here. So
Right.
now that you're up here, don't kick me to the curb or talk shit to me. How about we come back together again to get both of us up here?
But both, right. And
You know
it
what I'm
goes the
saying?
same, right. It goes the same way for men too. So don't get that. Don't wait.
But that
I
goes to
got
double
you.
standard though, because I don't hear dudes talking to the women like, well, "Hey, I make more than
Well,
you. Yada yada yada. Get a
but
job."
that's the thing. That's the thing is we do it because when we hear it, you know what I'm saying, is like we have to, you have to defend yourself. You have to say like, okay, well, I helped you do this, you know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't be there
But see,
if I didn't help.
but now you look salty and you look like a sucker because now you're bringing up some old shit. Like, oh, you're gonna throw this in my face every time this conversation comes up. Like, well, yeah,
See,
I did
man,
it,
okay.
but I did help
See.
you. Like,
So the whole point is, man, is just nobody has to stay in their place, man. But we can all just be cordial with each other. We can all just get along, and we can just, just build each other up together.
you
No
know,
one's better than the other. Yes, you guys fought hard to get to where you are now,
definitely.
and everybody commends you for that. But it doesn't mean you're entitled to anything, to acting or, a certain way just because.
Right. I think also you got to think like when we were growing up, there were a lot of single parent house homes
Yes.
to where you're always told, hey, you don't need anybody. You don't need this person for this, need this person for that. So now that you're kind
Right.
of on your own and you've made it on your own, it's like, well, I don't need you.
What do I need you for?
Right. You know, it's double standards and everything. Like for instance, so a rich millionaire man can find a female, right,
Mm-hmm.
and completely turn her life around by getting married. Now her life is up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why isn't that vice versa? How come a rich woman can't find like a below average male and then make his life better?
Because she won't. That's
Well,
it.
well, I can't speak for females, so I just want to know. I mean, if
Girl,
okay,
women are preconditioned nowadays. In 2022, women are preconditioned nowadays. Like if you don't got no bag, like you ain't getting no ass. Like
yeah,
that's, I mean, and I'm sorry to say, like,
but see that's kind of that throws me off as well because then you're like, well, where are the good men at? Well, you're not looking for the nigga, as a mechanic. You want this billionaire dude, this baller dude, and who has plenty of options as well, right?
right.
So why would he want to butt heads with someone who's as equally successful in life, and they're both trying to get dominance in the relationship? So why even do that when you can go find someone else that can genuinely make you happy and you can make them happy?
Well, that's when you eliminate the double standard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some more shit that we talked about, but I don't think it'll be good in this conversation. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, no. You gotta keep it
Yeah,
PC
yeah.
or PG. My bad, PG. And no, wait. We're
Yeah.
not saying that to bash women. We're not trying to say
Oh
that
no,
because we
not at
want to
all.
keep going on and bashing. Like we want to, what we have to say is to bash women. That is not what we're trying to say at all. So don't, if you're listening and you're a woman and you think that was it, that is not it.
No, I'm not trying to bash anyone. I
Right.
think the whole argument here is equality, right? That's what we're talking
Equality.
about. So
It,
if we're talking
damn right.
equality, if we're being equal, how
It
come
be.
let it be equal?
Yeah, be
You know what I'm
equal.
saying?
That's right. It ain't nobody like you ain't better now because you know what I'm saying you got to a certain point. Just be equal.
Right, because the scale shouldn't tip in anyone's favor.
Nope.
Let's just be equal. So,
Oh well. Speaking of equal,
because trust
hold
me,
on.
I'd be a stay-at-home dad.
I would too. Shit,
But
no heartbeat. But speaking of being equal, and I got to say this now because you made it to where I can do the transition. Because
all right,
watching the NFL this past weekend,
you realize teams
I
aren't equal.
realized I realized that teams are not equal. Teams are not equal this year. And for all you said, the AFC West is gonna be like this rodeo or whatever the hell you seen. After week one, we seen that we're not equal. Okay, it's gonna be the Chargers. It's gonna be the Chiefs. It's gonna be the Chargers, at the top of the rung, and then after that it would be Denver and the Raiders. Y'all will be at the bottom of the rung.
All right, now everyone knows that T goes hard on the Raiders because he has a. We know a lot of friends who are Raiders fans, so especially being in the same division, Titan got
All
his
right.
shit off. But I mean, the weekend was nice.
It was a great
Some
weekend.
a
It
couple of
started
great
off
games.
really bad though. I'm not gonna lie. Well,
Oh,
if you're a defensive player, I guess good for you. It started off good for you, but me being an offensive player, watching these the first halves of the very first games, I was like, good Lord, man, like this is horrible. Like this is horrible. Cause
it is week one, and then you also have to think
right,
most of those starters didn't even play in the preseason.
uh, true.
So this is them actually. This is
They're
their
preseason.
preseason, the first game.
Mm,
Um, I took joy in watching the 49ers lose to my Bears. It was a dirty, nasty game. First half they were up by 10, but we show composure. One thing I hate about fans and certain fans is that they make excuses for the losses. Oh man, we lost
yeah,
because we lost because of bad weather. Like my team was playing in that same bad weather, but yet we still managed to pull the win out. So let's not blame it just on weather. Let's blame it on performance of your squad.
your squad just came shit to bed. Mm, that was it.
They just didn't play well. So let's chalk it up as a loss. Too many penalties, this, and that, and the third. Your quarterback, draft number 3, he ain't that hard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
You pass upon probably the second best quarterback of that draft, and unfortunately we got him. And he showed you why he should have been number 3. But,
mm. What team? What team that wasn't your team stood out to you though?
surprisingly, Seattle. I didn't. I mean, Geno
I
Smith
was
came
impressed.
through. Yeah, I was
I
like,
was impressed.
because he hasn't really been that prominent in the NFL in a while, especially
Right.
he hasn't started a game in 8 years. So when he played for the Jets, he wasn't that great of a quarterback. So I'm thinking like Denver's going to come through and just roll him up. But I'm watching the game, I'm like, okay, Geno Smith's making plays. He can throw the ball. He's accurate, moving the ball. So they really surprised me.
All right.
How about you?
I, I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys.
What's surprising about that? I mean, they're always weak.
Well, yeah, they're always weak, but
It's always an excuse
once
for
again,
them.
right, exactly. So the excuse last year is, oh yeah, we didn't have this or we didn't have that. But the first game of the season, they roll out with Dak. He looked horrendous, and so like, what is going to be an excuse now? Because Dak got hurt. Even when before Dak got hurt, man, like you seen the play, they didn't score. Like they lost. What was it, 19? Was it 19-10?
I don't know what I
I
haven't
think it
even
was
watched the game.
19-3, man, and that's horrible. But we'll touch on football. We'll come back to football soon.
Yeah, but just know, like, no excuses, man. If you lost, you
Right.
lost. If you won, you won. It was week one, so everyone's like, "Oh, it's week one." Things will get better. I hope your team comes
Yeah,
through.
I hope
You
so.
know,
Because if not, then we gonna be on your head.
the Titans gonna be on y'all's head for sure.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Let's wrap this up.
Go ahead. Out.
And thank you guys once again for listening to Talking About the Hours. Once again, we're your hosts, TJ Bay and Alan Poe. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. We love y'all. Go Bears.
Go Chiefs. We out.
We out. Peace.